Hey everyone, Boylon here, and hope you're all having an awesome day. And you know what day it is today? TGI Friday, because we have another round of the blog posts. And today we have some pretty amazing things to talk about, and all I can say is, Hail Hydra. That should give you an idea of some of the things that we'll be talking about. After the blog post, I also want to hop on over to Reddit and take a look at some of the posts relating to the recent Emma Frost Red Star debacle, as there were some photos posted over the compensation that was included for this, which I find quite interesting. But without further ado, let's get on over to the blog post. And here we are at the blog post titled Doom War. So I'll just go through this really quick. Here we have kind of a neat picture of Dr. Doom here. Greetings, Commander. The battle for Nexus to Earth rages on with a new campaign that could spell doom for the members of Strike. And if squaring off against the Destroyer of Worlds doesn't get your heart rate up, we've got blitzes that are a force of nature, a godly bonus event, and chance to strike gold. But first, we're lifting up the mask of Hydra's newest member, Baron Zemo, is coming to the game. So Hydra's squeeze on the battlefield gets tighter with Baron Zemo. A descendant of a long line of evil, Baron Zemo is one of the leaders behind Hydra and has devoted his life to conquering the world and eliminating his greatest foe, Captain America. Wonder if we'll ever see a Captain America rework one day. He's a genius tactician, a brilliant scientist, and an Olympic-level marksman, and a deadly combatant, especially with a broadsword. Baron Zemo will lend his skills to the Hydra team as their controller. Kind of surprised as controller, but hey, his attacks can apply negative effects, but where Baron Zemo really shines is against minion teams. His special ability, Dominating Blow, can prevent minions from reviving. Each turn when charged, Baron Zemo attacks all enemies, but does increased damage against minions, in addition to applying Disrupted to them. Wow, that's pretty cool. On war offense, during an enemy minion turn, Baron Zemo applies Evade to himself and adjacent allies. Wow, on enemy turns. So that's pretty awesome. He also enjoys synergies with Winter Soldier, Crossbones, and Hydra Grenadier. So it looks like we're finally getting a rework to our famous minion that got left out, Hydra Grenadier. So all of you who pulled the 6 or 7 red star on him, you know, at least there's going to be something that you can do with him now. Gaze upon the face of Hydra. So we have Villain, Global, Skill, Controller, Hydra. So skill, that's cool, because a lot of people were complaining that there wasn't very many good choices for skill characters to level up, you know, at least with the orange gear anyway, so maybe this might be a character that you might want to consider for that. Basic Targeted Assault. Apply Assist now to a Hydra Grenadier ally. Attack primary target for 290% damage. I don't know why I find this funny, but I guess it's just because, you know, people were complaining about how trash he was still even after the rework, so at least now he's got something added into him. Special Dominating Blow. Energy cost 2 out of 2, so usable on turn 1. Clear 3 death proof from primary target. That's a lot of death proofs. Attack primary target for 450% damage. If the primary target is a minion, attack for 900% plus 20% piercing. That's a lot of damage. Minions killed by this attack cannot be revived. Gain plus 5000% focus for this attack. Attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. So the first thing I think about there is kind of Red Skull. Yeah, minions killed by the stack. So definitely that screams Red Skull for me. I don't know, you know, it's kind of weird that you'd be using a Hydra offense team to beat a Hydra defense team. Maybe there's something in the lore that I'm not quite understanding. You could probably use this against Shield as well, but I was kind of thinking like, you know, Coulson, because Coulson always gets revived by Shield Medic, but it does say minions only. So, I mean, there's still the same could apply. Maybe you might be able to use this against Shield teams still. Let's see, Ultimate Premeditation. So energy cost 5 out of 5, also usable on turn 1. Attack primary target for 300% damage, plus apply ability block for 1 turn and slow for 2 turns. Rebound chain to 4 adjacent targets for 270% and apply slow for 2 turns. Wow, that's a lot of 2-turn slow going out. And plus the ability block. I'm assuming this is 7775 stats, so my guess is that you'd probably need T4s in this for the 2 turns of slow, and then you gain charge from doing so. So both of these are turn 1, so I guess it depends on what team you're going up against, whether or not you need to ability block and slow them or not. Passive, the True Leader, quite a bit of text here. On spawn, gain charged and apply immunity for 1 turn and defense up for 2 turns to self and all Hydra allies. So that's pretty cool. So that's a lot of survivability right there with the defense up, and the immunity, I'm assuming, is just to the self though. On turn, if charged, attack all enemies for non-minion enemies for 300% damage, and all minion enemies for 400% damage. That's quite a bit. So basically on spawn, he takes his turn and he's doing this right off the bat. Clear 3 positive effects from all enemies, apply Disrupted for 2 turns to all minion enemies, and lose charged. Wow. So this is pretty crazy. This is probably good for if you're in any you know, any war rooms with engineering or anything like that, or they have on-spawn buffs. This even works. I mean, the clear positive effects would even work even if they're not minions. You know, so there might be other places where you could use this. And it's disrupted for 2 turns to all minion enemies. So this part here is largely going to be against Red Skull, I imagine. But you might be able to do this against Hydra as well. So shield security, for example, wouldn't be able to taunt. So that should be pretty cool. 40% speed, and non-minion Hydra allies gain 40% speed. So Crossbones and Winter Soldier, that's a lot of speed. 40% is a lot. On War Offense, on enemy minion turn, apply +1 evade up to a maximum of 3 to self and all adjacent allies. That's also pretty crazy. Up to 3? You know, that's a lot of evades on their turn, so you're almost always dodging attacks. And this would stack up on other characters like Winter Soldier and Crossbones if you have them next to him. Wow, and we have this photo of Baron Zemo. Pretty cool. We got this, the purple mask Baron Zemo. I don't know, wasn't he a character in the Age of Ultron movie? But that's not the Baron Zemo we know. So this is like the comic book Baron Zemo, I'm pretty sure. And he looks pretty awesome, actually. I don't know, did he lose a leg or is he kneeling? I think he's kneeling, but I'm assuming he didn't lose a leg. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong about the lore on Baron Zemo, but it looks like he's in a kneeling position. To prepare for Baron Zemo's arrival, several Hydra minions have received updates to meet the high standards of their new leader. So Winter Soldier, Crossbones, and Hydra Grenadier are now getting some updates as well. So let's look at this. Increased damage for Hydra Grenadier's basic, special. Now the special had that double attack, so it would shoot grenades twice and it would clear positive effects as well. So it doesn't exactly say how much damage that is, but we'll just take their word for it. The passive, plus 40% focus, and Hydra allies gain 40% focus. That's pretty good. That's quite a bit. And if Zemo is an ally, he gets 20% damage, so or plus 20% damage. So that's pretty cool too. And that's a fair bit of extra damage for a minion. Winter Soldier has his base stats increased and his speed by 10%. That's not bad. So we have to see what the... I'll probably have to do a separate video specifically on these characters to see what this kind of means in terms of his stats. All the character stats that are getting increased here. So Special Relentless Assassin. This to me looks the same. Maybe the damage numbers are higher. I thought it always applied bleed, and I thought it also did additional bleeds as well, and I knew it bonus attacks, so... Let me know if I'm kind of mistaken here. It sounds like maybe the damage numbers went up, but I don't think the attack itself changed. Passive, Expert Assassin, 15% crit chance. If Zemo is an ally, gain plus 20% max health, so that's an additional survivability for him, which is cool. Gain an additional plus 10% crit for self and all Hydra allies. I think that's new. I don't remember that being in it before, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't really use these characters too much. Crossbones gets a base stat increase, 10% health, damage, and armor here. Special Wrath, so this is his taunt ability. Heals self for 20% of max health. If Zemo is an ally, heal for 30%. So that's not bad. I think that's an increase from 10, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a fair bit of an increase on his health. Ultimate Detonate. If Zemo is an ally, gain defense up. That's kind of cool, although I don't know how that's going to work, given that Zemo already gives 2 turns of defense up to all Hydra anyways. So I don't know if this is a bit redundant or not. Passive Vengeance on spawn. If Zemo is an ally, generate ability energy for self. That's pretty huge because that just changes Detonate from turn 2 to turn 1. Because if any of you guys have played against Crossbones on the AI, then he normally starts with the taunt and then he goes into the Detonate. So now it looks like he's going to go straight into the Detonate, which is pretty cool. Gain plus 20% max health, and if Zemo is an ally, gain an additional 20%. So he's getting 40% max health with Zemo, or well, including with Zemo. Which is a lot. That's a lot of increase to his survivability. I think he was pretty decent on the health pool already. Gain plus 5% armor, and Hydra allies gain 5% armor. So that's pretty... I think he already had this, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I thought he did. But that 40% health, that's a lot. And this new change to the ability energy for Detonate, that's pretty awesome, too. Red Skull, his ultimate's now unavoidable and unblockable. Can't say I really noticed this too much because, you know, he's a ward defense character and I usually just blitz with him on auto, so I don't really notice this too much. Doom War. So it looks like we're getting chapter 1 of the new Doom campaign. It doesn't say when this is coming out, but you do have to have completed Nexus chapter 8 in order to get this unlocked. So make sure you do that if you haven't already. And it actually gives us the teams we need, or the teams we can use for these missions. So missions 1 to 3, Mutant Hero. Why did I think that this is going to happen? Because of the introduction of Beast. Now, there's quite a few other Mutant Heroes available, of course, so I don't know if you're necessarily going to need Beast to clear this anyways. You also get Inhumans, which is quite good, so you can use Black Bolt here. I'll probably do a separate video later on this weekend where we'll talk about sort of the characters that we can use for this event, because these are sort of very specific characters, some that might be easier than others. Missions 4, 6, Mystic Hero. So off the top of my head, I'm thinking Ghost Rider, Thor, Sif, Heimdall, so you could use a couple of Asgardians there. Mystic Hero, America Chavez, I suppose, if you wanted to. I'm struggling to remember them all off the top of my head, and obviously the Guardians are any of those. The Star-Lord, Rocket Groot, those combos you'll probably be able to use, and they're a very good triplet, Star-Lord, Rocket, and Groot, so I imagine if you have them previously leveled up, that'd probably be quite easy to use there. Mission 7 to 9, Shield, Wave 1 Avenger, and Fantastic Four. This is a strange one. Wave 1 Avenger is super strange, because that's like the old school Avengers characters where they're kind of crap. Thor's in there though, and Cap, Hawkeye, Black Widow, and Hulk, I think, or something like that. I don't remember them all. And Iron Man, maybe. Fantastic Four, you can use Invisible Woman here. And Shield. So I imagine that I'd be using some sort of combination of Invisible Woman, Thor, I don't know, maybe, and Nick Fury, Coulson even, maybe. Coulson's actually not a terrible standalone character. We'll have to see. I'll definitely go through a new video with the requirements of these missions and go through my own roster and see who I plan on using for this. So it looks like the rewards for Doom War include super gear pieces. Now, required for gear tier 14. This sounds like to me that this is going to be like mini uniques, because they did make mention in a previous blog post that they were going to make mini uniques farmable. Now, I'm assuming that's what they mean by that. Otherwise, we'll have to wait and find out. And character shards for Thor and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And here's what you... So Thor is Doom 1 to 6. I don't know why they're making Thor on a node, given that he's in the Raid store. He's also a really old character, so I'm a little bit surprised that they're putting him on such a late sort of new campaign. Negasonic Teenage Warhead Doom 1-9. So it doesn't say when they're releasing this Doom campaign. I hope it's, you know, by the latest, you know, early September, unless it comes out sooner, because as we know, you need to farm Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Domino and X-23 for the coming Doc Ock event. So we'll have to see how far in advance we get this released compared to when the Doc Ock event is going to be coming. So at least we do know that where it's going to be coming. We don't know where Domino and X-23 are going to land yet, but maybe we'll hear next Friday on the next blog post. So we have a Catalyst Cataclysm event. Now this came in Fun in the Sun. This gives you 3 times basic Catalyst. Now, of any of these, I recommend these. I recommend you farming SBC's Orange Superior Basic Catalyst. Now, I don't really recommend spending energy on any of the others, the blue or the purple. I think this is good because you get 4 every time that you successfully get a drop, and so times 3, you're getting 12. So that's 12 every time you get a success, and I think that's pretty good. So if you do have some spare energy lying around, I definitely recommend you farming these. I would probably take a pass on the others. I don't think it's really worth it personally. Catalyst Blast. It looks like we're getting a Catalyst login calendar starting August 11th, which is, according to my calendar, Tuesday. So, you know, Monday night / Tuesday midnight, you know, that's when you're going to be seeing this here local time. Some extra Catalyst, so I'll take some free stuff. And it looks like we're getting one-day blitzes starting on Monday. We're getting orange and blue gear on Monday, gold on Tuesday, and purple on Wednesday. So 3 different one-day blitzes, or 4 different, maybe, or 3 different one-day blitzes, I'm assuming. And then Crystal coming on Thursday for the Inhuman Blaster Royal Princess Blitz. So if you do need some Crystal Shards for Ebony Maw, who's going to be coming back in probably about 2 weeks' time, then you can get some more shards here. Otherwise, you know, keep farming the Arena store for her. And then we're having a double drop campaign here for Black Bolt that's going to be coming around shortly in a couple of days. And so if you need to farm Loki and Hela shards, then you can still do that there. And we got some double shards for Mercs, with Payday likely coming around shortly as well. And we have this new legendary trait change. In the not too distant future, we'll be adding the trait Legendary to all the characters that are acquired through contemporary legendary events, which includes Iron Man, Nick Fury, Star-Lord, and all these characters. Make the characters easier to sort in the roster and identify where their character shards are located for newer players. So I wonder if this is anything to do with more permanent events, because they list them in order. So Nick Fury and Star-Lord are what people were talking about that hopefully are going to be made permanent. I don't know if you do. Otherwise, what's the point? Because when you click the find button, nothing's going to show up other than Iron Man, who has like a permanent event. So unless it tells you that, hey, this character is a legendary event, I don't know why this needs to be a thing. Anyways, and so they're talking about here how previously this term legendary was used for some of these other events here, and they don't want to confuse players and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know if I'm maybe not reading into this far enough, that maybe there's something more to this, but okay, an extra tag that tells us for sure that they're legendary characters. Maybe this is just you know, for newer players so that they know that that's how they get them, I guess. So that's it for the blog post. It was quite meaty today, and a lot on the Hydra rework. So yeah, let's jump back over onto Reddit though, where we'll take a look on some of the things related to Emma Frost. Right, so admittedly, there was a lot of stuff on Reddit regarding Emma Frost's problems with Red Star. I think it stems from this post, and I think a post from the other day. So this was one that CM Zeeks posted. This is 20 hours ago from when I made this video, you know, stating that there wasn't an issue with the Red Star orbs, that basically when they went live, that it showed an Emma Frost photo on the Red Star orbs, but it wasn't actually in, I think, for the first 5 minutes or so. So a lot of people did end up pulling their Red Star orbs. I always say, you know, wait, look at the eye on the orb, make sure that it's actually in there before you pull. But, you know, a lot of people didn't, and they pulled anyways, and so it became a little bit of a problem for, you know, for all the support and all the people who did pull early. Now, from what my understanding is that your compensation for this would have been depending on what you pulled. So whether or not you pulled an Elite 6 or an Elite 7, does anyone even have an Elite 7? Like, I don't even have an Elite 6. But anyways, or whether or not you pulled regular orbs, Elite 4s or Elite 5s. So from what I'm understanding, there's a lot of posts, and I didn't go through every one of them, but I did come across this post here. How is this compensation? And with this, basically, there was an attached photo, which I opened up, was here. So this looked like that there were some, I don't know how many people, got a 5 Red Star Emma Frost. My guess is if you pulled an Elite 5 or greater, then you were compensated with this. Maybe you were you know, I don't know. Maybe if anyone knows more about this, they can leave a comment in the section below. I don't know if you know, people who pulled an Elite 6 or an Elite 7, if they got a guaranteed 6 or 7. Not too sure about this. I just saw this post here about people getting an Elite 5, a 5 Red Star. So if people got more than that, then please comment below. If you got a 4 also from some of your polls, please comment that below as well. I waited to do my polls, so I guess I'm not included in any of this, but so yeah, there's a lot of stuff to read, but it's my understanding that there's a lot of mixed reactions, and there are people who are, you know, obviously the people who pulled are happy about it, and the people who didn't pull are unhappy about this. That, you know, maybe we should all just be pulling right at the beginning, regardless, just, you know, in case someone screws up, and that we can get some sort of Red Star compensation. Now, I have a 4 Red Star. That was from my my Red Star Emma Frost video, you know, so I'm okay there. I'm happy with that, but it's a bit, I've never seen them do this kind of thing before, so I'm a bit surprised that there was this kind of you know, this kind of compensation levels, which we've never really seen in the past for mess ups like this. I'm pretty sure there have been characters in the past where they haven't been, you know, in the Red Star orbs exactly when it was supposed to be. So yeah, this is something new to me, but, you know, is it warranted? Do you guys think it's warranted? Do you think that that was something that they should have done? Please also leave that in the comment section below, what you guys think about this kind of level of compensation regarding the Emma Frost Red Star debacle. So that's just it. You know, I wanted to just bring that up here. There's plenty of posts. If you're a Reddit reader, there's tons all over Reddit regarding this. I just kind of picked out the few. This particular one that showed the photo, and that's my understanding of how things went down. If it's not, then please correct me down below as well. So that's all. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that anyways. Wow, so what can I say about between this meaty blog post and the Emma Frost debacle? There was lots to talk about today for once. And not to mention that there's the new Doom campaign chapter coming, hopefully in the not too distant future. I'll very likely be making separate videos addressing both the Hydra changes in more detail and the Doom campaign chapter to take a look at some of the characters that I'll be using for that. So stay tuned for those. What in the blog post today stuck out for you guys though? I'm personally pretty excited for Baron Zemo and getting to use the other characters together. But the bigger question for me is, who will I be using as a 5th character for that team, since there's only 4 of them? Leave a comment down below who you guys might consider as a fifth of this team, or what you guys even think about Zemo and the Hydra rework in general. Also, let me know if anyone was impacted by this whole Emma Frost thing, because personally, I think this sets a bit of a weird precedent for compensation by Scopely Next. Anyways, that's all from me for today, and if you guys enjoyed my video, then please smash that like button down below, and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. But I hope everyone enjoys their weekend, and until next time guys, stay safe. Boylon signing out.